Hello and welcome. You join me, ADG, once again for the 5th round of the Simfx 1 Hour Endurance Championship, and this week we're at the Brands Hatch GP track, which is a 2.43 mile track in the Kentish countryside. So without much further ado, we'll go through the qualifying order. Steve Bob put it in pole, doing a good job in first. ADG in second, Diablo in third, Bazinger in fourth as we hear the engine notes rising, Icklepants in fifth, Mulson in sixth, seventh was Phoenix, Cooney in eighth, Skid Guru put it in ninth, Ginger Tim was in 10th, 11th was Steve Stearns, 12th was Broad, and Specky Jock coming up everyone's rear put it in 13th in qualifying. So we start the race and we cross the line. We're sticking with Icklepants for the first couple of corners. It's all a bit rushed at the start, so I don't have much chance to say what I'd like, but I'll get to that as the race goes on. So we just watch Icklepants going a little bit wide into Grey Mill Bend there on the exit, and ends up putting it in the wall, so a bit of a shame there straight away on Icklepants' front. He's that little mistake's ruined his race really, tiny little mistake really as well. So we see Phoenix heading for the inside of Mulson but thinks better of it, pulls back in, gives Cooney a run on Mulson because of that. Cooney a run on Phoenix, should I say. Phoenix just finds himself going a little bit wide on the exit, touches the grass, spins in the middle of the track, and Cooney has absolutely nowhere to go and gets collected. So really unfortunate there for Cooney, really unfortunate, and Phoenix to be fair, but Cooney especially, he'd done a good job in qualifying, and then that happened on lap 1, so I felt for him. Anyway, that's racing at the end of the day. It's unpredictable and that's why it's good, otherwise it's boring. So we'll go to Broad now as we watch him chasing Steve Stones for 8th place. Steve Stones on the back of Phoenix. As we see, who was that? Steve Bob at the side of the track, letting everyone past, because he went wide into the first corner from first place, so he loses first place and drops right to the back. Steve Bob, unfortunate again, easy to make a mistake on this track, and it's not a mistake you can just get away with, and it actually has a quite dramatic effect on your race. So yeah, it's a tricky one. I made a few mistakes on this. I don't think anyone's perfect around this track. So we see Broad now lining him up for an overtake, but not quite having the room to do it. A little bit of contact as Steve Stones pulls across to defend. Unfortunately, I'm going to skip to myself in a second. We watch Broad and Steve Stones having a good race on lap 2. Steve Stones eventually just thinking better of it, pulling out of the way and thinking, no, I just want to have my own race. I don't want to have this pressure from behind at all times, so I'm going to make a mistake if that's the case. So maybe wisely, arguably not wisely, it depends how you look at it. Steve Stones letting him past. Anyway, like I say, we'll skip up to me and watch me as I have a bit of a mistake myself. So coming up to Sheens now, I just touched a wheel on the grass, as you'll see in a second, and just lost it on the brakes basically. Straight away, as soon as I realised I'd done it, full opposite lock, managed to catch it, but still managed to hit the wall, get a little bit of damage, as you see at the bottom right, bottom left, a bit of front bumper damage, but Mulson's right behind me now. Could have maybe dived down the inside of me, but wrist contact into that corner, so he thought better of it, and I appreciated that. Mulson could have been a bit of a tricky one. So thank you for holding back and not forcing the issue too much as I got going again. So I'm by myself in 3rd place now, dropping down from 1st. It's happened to Steve-Bob, it's happened to me. Diablo, oh, I've missed it, but Diablo hit the back of back marker B Cooney on the start of lap 4 and picked up really bad damage. B Cooney was coming back on the track and basically caught out Diablo. Diablo wasn't sure exactly where B Cooney was going to go to get out of the way, and it just ended up being a bit of a confused situation. And he ended up hitting the back of B Cooney by accident, but quite hard, so he ended up with damage. And yeah, Diablo getting caught out by that one, so he was in 1st place, not for long, and dropped out of 1st place. So that's Steve-Bob, me and Diablo that have all had 1st place in the first 4 laps and lost it. So it goes to show it really is not the easiest of tracks when you've got a bit of pressure up in front. Basinger now in 1st place, doing a good job. So I've written down Specky for lap 4, we'll skip to him as he chases Broad incredibly closely. Tries to go down the inside out of Clark, is it? Yep, Clark curve. As they're heading to Paddock Bend on lap 5 now. Make their way up the hill towards Druids. Looks like Phoenix is going slowly in front as though he's had a mistake. So they're both catching up Phoenix incredibly quickly. Broad's pushed it on the exit there, lost it with a bit of oversteer. Oh, and then Specky's got a run on him, but managed to get the braking a little bit wrong and run into the back of him. No major deal, he's given himself a little bit of aero damage, but nothing else. And other than that, it's been good racing, good clean, close racing between them, so completely accidental, just got caught out there a little bit, Specky. But good close racing at the beginning of this one at Brands. Always throws up some interesting racing, does Brands, I find. I really like it as a track. It really is one where you're on the edge of your ability all the way around if you're doing quite well and you've got pressure on from behind especially. A bit of back pressure building up. So Specky doing a really good job, keeping him really close, so he's got the opportunity whenever he sees a chance. He's got the pace to be able to do it, definitely. Drop back a little bit now as he struggled through those last couple of corners a little bit. Anyway, we're on lap whatever it is, so stick with me, Mulson, Skid Guru. Skid Guru having a good race as well this week. Started in 9th place, like I've already said, in 3rd place. So again, doing a really good job. Basinger started in 4th and he's now leading the race. Worth a mention as well. He's gone up 3 places to put himself in the lead. So I come into the pits now on the end of lap 6. We'll skip a bit of time, as you know we have to. I come out in 8th place. Phoenix actually pitted at the same time as me and came out behind me in 9th place as well. So me and Phoenix pitting on lap 6. So we've got Tim, where is it? I think I probably missed it. Tim, Broad, where's Broad? Oh, it's all getting a bit I think I've missed all the action there and went to a bit late. But yeah, got Broad on. I've written down 4 people for this lap 7. I don't know how I meant to skip through all 4 people and manage to get the timing right. I've been a bit ambitious with that one. So we watch Broad as he just caught the exit there and put it on the grass a little bit, spun it. So Ginger Tim's now up into 5th place, Specky Jock gets by as well, up into 4th place, and Broad's now in 6th because of that. So we'll skip to me now as I'm catching Steve Stearns. Steve Stearns pulls to the right hand side, lets me past for some reason, which I was a bit baffled at, seeing as though it was for position. And yep, fair enough, I'm not going to complain, he'll let me past, but maybe Steve Stearns, as we've already seen, just wants to have his own race, don't want too much pressure from behind or anything like that, so just wants to be able to have as clean a race as possible without feeling like he's been forced around the track or forced to go faster than he wants to do. So watch me now trying to chase down Broad. I got a little bit of damage when I had that spin right at the beginning and hit the wall, so I ended up going onto the medium tyre on my pit stop. So I'm actually on the medium tyre for the rest of the race from that point on. But I found it quite a good tyre and I could consistently hit 124 lap times. So I'm going for the inside line, but should have probably stuck in the slipstream a little bit longer, so I didn't quite get the toe far enough down the straight to really have a chance into the first corner, so I dropped back in behind and stick behind Broad and watch his rear bumper for yet another couple of corners. Broad goes wide into, I always forget the name, Druids, down into Grey Mill Bend. He's wide again, so I'm down his inside. And I just stick to the inside now and try and take the place off him, but credit to him, he runs it round the outside and we're side by side on the exit. So Broad's now got the inside line for the next corner. I'm on the outside, so I have to give him the place really. Not really worth the risk of trying to go around the outside through there. We're only on lap 9 as well of an hour-long race, so we're not even a quarter of the way through the race. But I've started to learn my lessons from previous races and maybe just be a bit more patient in your overtakes. So looking for any opportunity, trying to put Broad under a bit of pressure, weaving about a bit behind him so he can see me, and I've got Phoenix right behind me now as well. So I've got a little bit of a situation to worry about from behind. So I really need to get past Broad now. Phoenix is looking pretty fruity to get past me. So I go for the inside line, a bit of desperation almost. Nearly went wide into Broad, so I had to brake and lift off massively, which gives Phoenix a run down the inside of me into Druids. Gets past me, so he puts me into 8th place, Phoenix up into 7th. And then Phoenix has a bit of a moment as he avoids the back end of Broad, so I have to back out of it a little bit. Goes on the grass a little bit, there's Phoenix, it's all going on. I go down the inside, but I can't get a good enough run to get side by side with him on the exit, so Phoenix keeps the place. And a good little bit of racing going on there for a couple of laps. So I was trying my best to get past Broad, but Phoenix has managed to get in between as a Phoenix sandwich. So Phoenix looking for the opportunity now, right on the back of Broad to get past. Side by side now, where he's on the outside. Broad giving room, but a little bit of contact, a little bit squiffy into there from Broad. Phoenix gets past around the outside, good move. It was a bit risky, but he managed to make it work. Credit to Broad as well, giving him room. So Broad having a bit of a weird moment there. I thought he was heading into the pits for a second then. Cutting right across me to get the inside line to defend for the first corner. He goes a little bit wide on the exit. I managed to run it down the inside and get the braking done and hold the inside line for Druids, and that's me past Broad. So good couple of laps there from Phoenix, me and Broad. Really good racing, always a pleasure. So we've got Steve Stearns dropped into 8th place now, but he's chasing Broad now. Oh, bit of contact there, as we heard it from Diablo or something. I'm not sure what happened, but a little bit of contact going on. No major contact, didn't ruin anyone's race as we saw. No one actually went off or adjusted the line massively. Oh, so we watch Broad as he loses it on the exit of the penultimate corner. Puts it into the wall on the left hand side. Steve Stearns lets Diablo pass. Pretty confusing probably for Diablo, as he did it on the inside of the corner, but he's not going to complain. Diablo up into 7th place, Steve Stearns in 8th, as Broad gives them both the place by making that mistake. Broad now in the pits. We'll join him and skip a bit of time. Comes out in 10th place, not too bad. We'll, what lap are we on? We're on 12, so we need to be with Icklepants. Where is it? Icklepants chasing Diablo. Having a good comeback race after that first corner. Well, not first corner, first lap incident that he ended up having. Losing it on the exit of, remind myself, Grey Mill Bend. Got myself a little map just to look at, trying to remember the corners the best I can. I'm terrible at it, so hence having to look at the map every now and again. Trying my best. So Icklepants, I don't know why I've written him down. I've probably missed the moment that he had. He probably had a really good overtake, but I joined him too late. So I apologise for that, Icklepants, but there you go. We've had a lap with you anyway. Good to see, and nice clean driving in the BMW. Good choice, the BMW for the season, it seems. Anyway, we will, now we're on lap 13, we will skip to Tim. Tim now chasing Broad. Broad going a little bit wide into Clark. So hesitating on the throttle on the exit, and gives Tim a bit of a run on him. Doing a good job, Tim. I think he's had a few little incidents that's dropped him all the way back to 12th place. Steve Bob, oh, worth a mention actually, I forgot all about this, sorry about that, Specky and Steve Bob. On lap 11, it was a really unfortunately timed moment. Steve Bob basically pitted on the end of lap 10, came out of the pits, and as Specky Jock was heading into the first corner and braking and trying to line up his apex, Steve Bob basically quit the race, or well, he went into auto drive to quit the race quickly, and as he did that, he ended up pulling over to the left hand side out of the pits and unghosting right in front of Specky Jock into the first corner. So completely ruined Specky Jock's race, but it was one of them unfortunate things. I guess it's Steve Bob didn't mean to do it. It was just the way the game works, I suppose. But really bad timing, if anything. That's the thing about it. If it had been like a second earlier or a second later, there might have been time to deal with the situation. But nope, it was just that really bad timing where it makes all the difference. So anyway, good luck there with Tim. Chasing down Broad, similar gap to them as there was last lap. So we're heading into the first pit stop window for the people who are on the two-stop strategy, as we're getting towards 20 minutes into the race. We'll skip through a little bit and see what's going on. We've got Ickle Pants chasing Diablo down, not too far behind. The leaders are in the pits now, so we'll skip to that. Skid Guru coming out. So we've got Passenger just pitted, came out in first. Skid Guru just pitted, came out in second. Hang on, let's look what tyres are on. Soft tyres for Passenger, soft tyres for Guru. Phoenix is now in third, hasn't pitted yet. Or pitted early, should I say. Pitted on lap 6 with me and went on to the soft tyre. I pitted on lap 6 but went on to the medium tyre. So me and Phoenix up into third and fourth now, having a good race and pretty close to each other. So a good moment here as I got the run on Phoenix down the inside and just managed to make it work on the brakes as we went into Hawthorne. So that was a good moment of my race, taking third place like that off Phoenix, getting a good run on him down the straight and getting past him. Me and Phoenix have had some good races in the past, so I know it's not easy to race and pass him. So it was a particularly good move, I thought. Give myself a little bit of credit. Anyway, coming on to lap 16, we've got Diablo in the pits, I think. Nope, that's next lap. Ickle Pants in the pits this lap. We'll jump to him to skip a bit of time. Comes out in 7th place, so not bad for there from Ickle Pants after a pit stop. So what lap are we on? Sorry, 16. Watch Diablo and Mulson as they're incredibly close together. Diablo chasing Mulson for 5th place. Mulson got a little bit of a penalty, but Diablo ends up on the in the gravel in the keel here, going wide. I don't know whereabouts we are on the track. I've lost track. But yeah, having a bit of a moment, so dropping off the back of Mulson. Mulson with a 0.3 second penalty to get rid of, but no big deal, nothing to worry about really. So watch Mulson as he chases Phoenix down now, heading into Druids up the hill. Really good race for Mulson this one. Seemed like he was up there or thereabouts the whole race. And I certainly had a really good race with him at the end, which we will be tuning in and watching. Quick note whilst we're on a bit of a quiet lap. Kyoto Driving Park next week. So should be an interesting one. Stick with it if you enjoy these races and you enjoy watching them every week. I'll also be doing a replay video of Kyoto on Tuesday night. I might even stream this week as well. Do a live stream of my race and then do the replay as well on afterwards. I was thinking about it. So we're on to lap 18, 25 minutes in pretty much. And we'll just stick with Mulson and Phoenix. Phoenix runs wide and gives Mulson the place, so Mulson now up into 4th, Phoenix down into 5th as Phoenix made a mistake into Paddock Hill Bend and went wide on the exit. So again, Mulson just having a clean, steady race and making up the positions. we'll skip to, oh, see me coming past B Cooney. As B Cooney's letting me pass as a back marker. We'll stick with Basinger for a lap now. Basinger having a really good race, keeping it consistent in first place. If you look at his lap times, he's had a 1:27, a couple of slow laps in there, but nothing too bad. Towards his tyres going off, the 14th lap being his pit stop, so his lap times have improved since. See the little symbol for traction control down there. Nothing wrong with that, but I always find it is a little bit faster without it. But each of their own at the end of the day. It don't bother me. I like racing the way I like racing. It don't really affect me however anyone else races, so long as they're good enough. Having a decent lap here, Basinger. Nice and steady through here, don't want any moments in the race. You can push in qualifying and try your luck, but maybe not so much in the race. As he finds himself catching Ginger Tim as a back marker. Blue flag's been waved for Tim to get out of the way. And that's a lap with Basinger. We'll skip to Tim now, actually, funnily enough, for this lap, and watch as he chases Basinger in first place. Hosts every week does Tim, and does a good job, but there has been mention of trying to cure this lag issue that we've been suffering with for a few races by changing hosts, even though it seems that Tim's internet's perfectly capable of doing it. It's worth a try, maybe. Oh, that's the suggestion anyway. I don't particularly know much about that kind of stuff, so I don't really get involved. So, I haven't really done it yet, so we'll quickly go. B Cooney having a really bad race, got ruined on the first lap really, so in the pits, just waiting towards the end now to come out and do a bit of testing. Basinger is in first place, Skid Guru in second, AGG 123 in third, got Mulson in fourth, Diablo in fifth, Phoenix in sixth, Steve Stones in seventh, eighth, sorry, excuse me, 8th is Ickelpants, Specky Jock is 9th, Broad is in 10th, 11th is Ginger Tim, and like I've already said, B Cooney just sat in the pits now. Steve Hobbs left the race altogether now, so 2 races in a row. Steve Hobbs had a really bad race, so it'll affect the championship. He was the leader of the championship towards the beginning, but I think he'll have dropped out of the lead by now. I'm not quite sure, I still haven't seen the table. Anyway, we're on lap 21, so yeah, just a bit of a stale part of the race this really. There's a few back markers to watch and a bit of back marker racing going on. As we see up front, there's Ginger Tim and, who is it, Broad, racing away in 11th and 10th. As Skid Guru chases them down in second place, but looks to obviously get past them as quickly as possible. So we see Broad having a moment going wide, so that's Skid Guru easily past him, and we'll watch as he gets past him. But yeah, good championship so far from everyone, and like I say, you never know what's going to happen. Steve Hobb having 2 bad races, and it seems to have changed everything. If you have a few good races, personally speaking, I've had a few decent races in a row. I've had a win and then a third, so I've had decent points on the board, 2 weeks on the trot, so that'll actually make quite a difference to my championship. So it goes to show a couple of good races chucked in the season, as well as a consistently like half decent season in and amongst the rest of it. Then you can find yourself doing half reasonably. You've just got to chip away every race and try and get those points. Think about the points at the end of the day. If you want that championship win or anywhere near the top anyway. I'm looking for a top 3 now in the championship. Now I've had 2 good races towards the middle of the championship, and we've got 5 races left, so I want to make the most of the last 5 races and see what I can do. Anyway, having a good lap with Skid there as we watched him get past Tim. Not a lot going on at this moment, as I've already said, so it's a bit of a chill out session in the race. Feel like I could actually skip the time through the actual race here. Oh, I thought I was going to pit then, but no, it's the next lap it must be. Who can we watch? There's not a lot of close action going on, as we can see. Steve Stearns is probably the closest to Icklepants in front of him. We've got Specky Jock close to Mulson, but Specky's a back marker. So actually on track, the closest we've got for position is Steve Stearns and Icklepants at the moment, and they're not very close together. So yeah, just got a bit stale at this point in the race. This one, don't mean to say it's a bad race, but just not the most entertaining to watch back through this section a bit. Anyway, we'll skip up the cinematic so it looks a bit better when we're just watching the single cars. And we're on, where are we, lap 23. Oh, this is where I do pit at the end of this one, so I'll stick with myself knowing that I pit so I can skip the time. If you look, I've got pretty low fuel. My medium tyres are going off a little bit, but not too badly. And if you look up right hand side, I've done, well, quite a lot of 124s in a row. So keeping it nice and consistent on the medium tyre. I felt like it was a really good tyre on this track. It was certainly managed to make it work for me. Oh, what am I doing? I didn't even skip the time, ended up blue just watching my pit stop. Daydreaming away. Anyway, so I come out in 5th place. Diablo's in front of me and Phoenix is behind me. So we're on lap 24. What have I got written down? Yeah, I went back onto the mediums again in that pit stop. Just again, didn't really feel much degradation. Could set consistent lap times on it, so why not? And so far I'd had really quite a good race on the medium, so I thought, why not just replicate what I've just done, go back onto them for the second stint and try and get to the end of the race on them. Anyway, we will watch Icklepants and Steve Stones, see if the gap's got any closer. Don't look like it really. Nope. Ginger Tim up to 9th place now, Ginger Tim. Looks like Mulson's behind him as a back trying to come through in 3rd place. Coming down into Grey Mill Bend. No. Yep. Thought I got that wrong then. Through 30s. Mulson looking to get the slipstream down the straight. Blue flag's been waved for Tim. He's having his own little racer, Tim, so he's not going to let him pass until he's right behind. But Tim having a little bit of a moment on the grass there. Not too bad, managed to get away with it. So we've got Beat Cooney. Oh, I'm going to say Beat Cooney in the pits. He's still sat in the pits, should I say. You fooled me then, Cooney. Keep mentioning you, even though you're doing nothing, sat in the pits. So yeah, just going back to that Specky and Steve Ob incident, there's been a few little moments like that in the championship so far this season, and a few people have had complaints and it's got a bit out of hand and all the rest of it, but it's just really frustrating, and it's when you analyse it more and more, it's the game really, it's flawed in certain ways. I mean, especially the one with Specky jumping Steve Ob coming out of the pits, and maybe with hindsight and knowing what actually happens now, the fact that it seemed like when he paused it to leave, it pulled him over onto the track out of the pit exit lines straight away, and then it unghosted him as soon as he came out of the pits and crossed the line just before he managed to quit. So it's just a game issue really, but a racing incident as well, so it's really unfortunate, but these things happen and they ruin the race for people, but it has an effect on the championship at the end of the day as well, and it feels a little bit unfair, even though it hasn't happened to me recently. I feel for the people it happens to, especially Specky in this case, because yeah, it's really unfair. It's ruined his race. Obviously, Steve Ob didn't mean it. It's completely unintentional, and I'm not pointing the finger and saying that Steve Ob completely messed up. If he did, but he didn't. He just came out and he did something, and it didn't quite happen as he expected, and it caught Specky out. So, really unfortunate moments like that are a real shame to see, but it's part of it, I suppose, online racing. Anyway, stop waffling on. We'll stick with Mulson as he's coming into the pits at the end of this one, and I'm a bit worried I haven't skipped enough time so far with the pit stop, so we'll watch him still chasing away behind Ginger Tim. Ginger Tim not giving those blue flags much consideration. Mulson probably don't mind because he's getting a bit of a slipstream down the straights, and it looks like he might be fuel saving as he's nearly out of fuel. Phoenix is in the pits. We'll skip to he comes out in 7th place. Phoenix pitting there. Yeah, Mulson about to come in the pits at the end of this lap. Steve Stone's in the pits now as well. So again, we're in the pit stop window for the 2-stop people with the 20 minutes, so we're 40 minutes into the race now, and they'll be looking to do another stint of 20 minutes towards the final section of the race. So we've got Mulson in, comes out in 5th place, incredibly fast pit stop there from his team, but yeah, good job, comes out in 5th place. So again, Mulson having a good race, not dropping down the order too much, even after pit stops is good. So on this lap, just because there's not a lot of action going on really, I'm going to skip it up to Basinger, as I know that they're coming to the pits. So extremely worn tyres if you look at the bottom left there from Basinger. He's on the soft tyre. It's really, really worn. Skid Guru, let's see if he follows him in. Skid Guru follows him in. So Basinger coming out in 2nd, and 3rd is Skid Guru as he makes his way past Ginger Tim by the look of it, up into Druid. So Diablo's now in the lead, but he's looking for a pit stop before the end if you look at his fuel. So we're on lap 29 now, and like I say, we've got like roughly 20 minutes left of the race. So stick with Basinger as he chases down Diablo. Don't really seem to have put a foot wrong, Basinger, in this one. So good, clean, consistent racing from him. Having a good season. I can't remember if he said or not whether this was his first win this race, but if it was, then Then brilliant to him. Well done. So like I say, it's a bit of a bit of a drag is this section of the race. It does get better again towards the end. So stick with it if you can, or skip through. I've got to sit here watching it to do the replay. You can skip through. Prefer it if you didn't. It's better for me facts and figures if you don't. But never mind that. You do what you like. So Pants in the pits, coming out in 6th place. Having a good recovery race is Pants after his first lap incident. So yeah, just basically give everyone a bit of coverage now. We'll skip through the order. So Diablo is in 1st. Racing away with Basinger behind him in 2nd. Diablo comes into the pits now, so just getting out of the way for Basinger into the last corner there, as he knows he's going to be coming into the pits anyway. So Basinger up into 1st. I'll go through the order again. Basinger in 1st. Skid Guru in 2nd, ADG in 3rd, Diablo in 4th, comes out of the pits in 5th, Mulson up into 4th, Pants in 6th, Phoenix in 7th, Steve Stones in 8th, chasing away with B Cooney behind him, come out of the pits now, Specky Jock in 9th, Ginger Tim in 10th, and B Cooney in 11th. Like I say, just come out of the pits to have another bit of a practice session. So what lap are we on? 31. Yep. Skip back to Pants. I've written him down for some reason, so we'll stick with him. Skip up the view a bit. He's coming past Ginger Tim. Ginger Tim having a little moment. He seems to like that that line running 2 wheels on the grass on the exit of that corner. Oh, whoa! So Ginger Tim just catching the grass again, ends up having a bit of a moment, pulls across and ends up hitting Pants. Should have been letting Pants past. Tim should have been as a back marker, but ends up giving him contact and damage. So Pants suffers with front left suspension damage and front bumper damage, so not the wisest move there from Tim. I'm not the referee in these things. If anyone has a problem, they have to send in the videos to other people. But yeah, not the best move there, Tim. I'm not going to criticise too much there. I make plenty of mistakes at the end of the day. I think we all do to a point. So we'll skip back up to Diablo and Mulson now. We've actually got a bit of close racing to watch again. So we're getting into the section now where the race starts getting good again. Mulson's featured quite heavily in this video just because he's had such a good race, and he's been racing around a lot of people and very closely, so he's featured quite heavily. Do apologise if you feel it's unfair for maybe not getting as much coverage as other people, but you've just got to have that week where you're in the battle the whole time basically, and then you'll be the star of the show. So as we head on to lap 33, we'll just stick with Diablo, Mulson. I'm chasing Skid Guru, and that's worth a mention. Bit of a gap to us now, but I slowly reel him in over a couple of laps. So Skid Guru in 2nd place, me in 3rd, Mulson a bit of distance behind me at the moment, but chasing away, and Diablo right behind him, just to give it a bit of context to what's going on. So the gap's not massive, and Mulson and Diablo are slowly catching up on me, and I'm slowly catching up on Skid Guru, so the race is coming closer and closer towards the end between us all. So we've already had one unfortunate moment with Steve Hobb and Specky to watch, and unfortunately there was another one involving Skid Guru on the next lap, so we'll skip to Skid now and watch this lap from his perspective. So we see him coming up behind Steve Stearns as a back marker. The blue flags are being waved for Steve Stearns. Again, I'm not pointing the finger, I'm just pointing out what actually happened. So Skid Guru's catching Steve Stearns really quite quickly, getting into the slipstream down the straight as well, so reeling in even faster. Catches him a lot through there, and all of a sudden Steve Stearns, I think he tries to get out of the way. It's probably a genuine accident. Steve Stearns probably tries to get out of the way for Skid Guru, but ends up just braking right in front of him, and Skid Guru couldn't avoid him, ends up going into the back of him, and ends up with engine damage and all sorts of damage basically. So he's crawling round. I'm in third place, managed to get past him before the end of the lap, so take second place. Mulson a bit far behind to make advantage on the track, but Skid Guru obviously comes into the pits now, and Mulson gets past whilst he's in the pits, and so does Diablo. So really unfortunate moment again. I'm not sure, I'll just give Steve Stearns the benefit of the doubt personally. It was a genuine mistake, but you've got to be aware of these things. It did ruin Skid Guru's race to a point. Still in 5th place, but obviously he was up on the podium, or he should have been, and he was having a really good race with Basinger. He possibly could have won by the end. Anyway, we've got Mulson chasing Diablo now, so we're on lap 35. Good little battle this, pretty close between them. Diablo really starts putting the laps in now. If you look on the right hand side, 123s, sorry, 123.8, 123.9, 123.6. So fast laps for these laps. A 123.1 is just done there. So he's definitely really mean. If you look at my lap times, I'm doing 124s, 125 even there. So slower laps, so they're definitely catching me, Diablo and Mulson, and you'll soon see that actually physically as they reel me in. Mulson dropped off the back of Diablo a little bit. We'll quickly skip to Phoenix and skip his pits. Coming out in 7th place is Phoenix. Having a bit of a quiet race, Phoenix on this one it seems. Had a few little moments at the beginning with a good bit of action, but not that much going on throughout the rest of the race for him. Just the way it works out sometimes. You can end up with quite a boring race sometimes. And you just end up on your own the whole race, just through different circumstances. Oh bollocks! Bollocks! I've missed my moment. I'm gonna go back and then skip it. Where was it? I managed to get a 360 and sorry about this. Where was it? Oh, on the exit of Clark. So here we go. I end up touching the grass a little bit here, but managed to put it into a full 360 and then just carried on. lost a lot of speed obviously, so we watched Diablo catching me up behind. So Diablo takes second place. I couldn't really defend it, he had too much overspeed on me. So second place by Diablo as I made that mistake, but I was really chuffed with myself that I managed to make it into a 360. Anyway, let's skip back forward to where we were. So we're about halfway through lap 38. I'll skip a bit more time. And I just wanted to show that because I thought it was quite a good move for me. And it made a hell of a difference to my finishing position. Did that. Having that moment, obviously it was a heart-in-mouth moment, but the way I dealt with it was probably the best I've dealt with any mistake I've had in any of these 1 hour endurance races. I was laughing about it at the time. Anyway, it's dropped me into the clutches of Mulsanne. Mulsanne on the faster tyre than me as well, on the soft tyre. And he starts reeling me in now, so we pretty much stick with this for towards the end of the race now. So Mulsanne and the chase on me. Skip through quickly through the order. So we've got Bazinger in first, Diablo in second, ADG in third, Mulsanne in fourth, Skid Guru in fifth, Ickle Pants in sixth, Phoenix in seventh, Specky Jock in eighth, Steve Stearns in ninth, Ginger Tim in 10th, and B Cooney in 11th. Steve Hobb did not finish, already left the race. So we'll skip back to Mulsanne chasing me down. Got quite a bit of tyre wear on my mediums now, and if you look at my fuel, we've still got a few laps left, and I'm pretty low on fuel. Mulsanne's got the benefit of the fuel. I actually ended up fuel saving for about half a lap until I realised Mulsanne were just going to catch me too quickly, so I just had to work it all out, start short shifting a little bit and just do it that way. I couldn't risk Mulsanne getting too close to me to get the slipstream, but eventually he did off his own back anyway, so fair play to him. But yeah, quite a good section of the race this from Mulsanne. As you can see, his tyre wear is not the best either, so he's got that to compete with, but still putting in the laps to catch me. So yeah, I'm a bit gutted about that 360, although it was quite funny. It's meant that I dropped out of second place. I'm a bit worried this replay is going to finish early as well, because I hadn't skipped that much time in the pits. So I'll wrap it up early and say the finishing results on the last lap, just in case we finish early and I get cut off rather rudely with my 1 hour window. So Mulsanne going for the inside there, but managed to spot it early enough to defend. He's right on my tail now, so I'm having to keep an eye on him and defend as often as I need to. Little spit of flames from my car as we went through there. Mulsanne gets a good run out of there, right on the back of me still. Don't make the most of the slipstream though. Heading into Westfield Bend. What a strange name. Dingle Dell we're going through right now. and then looking to get through Sheens nice and clean. Coming up to Sterling's, the 90-degree left-hander, slightly banked, and then we've got the last corner, Clark curve, with Mulsanne still right on my tail, so I'm having to do a good job of defending to Mulsanne here. Again, covering the inside line, so Mulsanne's got nowhere to go. He ends up actually on the marbles a little bit there, so lost it a little bit, and just gives me a little bit of breathing room, that little mistake from Mulsanne. It's not a lot of breathing room, but it's a bit more than I've had for the last lap or two. So again, good racing right towards the end of the race here from me and Mulsanne. So anyway, we'll skip to Diablo because this is the last lap. It ends up being the last lap for Diablo and all the rest of us. Passenger ends up having a lap on his own. I'm a bit worried about time as well, so I'm really sorry for doing this, but just skip towards the end a little bit. So Diablo comes over in first, second even. Third is ADG 123, right behind me is Mulsanne with that good race towards the end. Skid Guru in fifth. Ickle Pants is in sixth. Phoenix is in seventh. Specky Jock is in eighth. Sea Stones is in ninth. Ginger Tim is in 10th. B Cooney is in 11th, and like I said already, Steve got a DNF for not finishing. So we'll watch everyone come over the line that hasn't already. Phoenix coming towards the end now through Clark Curve. Somehow, Specky must have been a lap down, so Phoenix is coming over the line, and we'll skip to Passenger for the last little bit. Thank you very much for watching. I'll start wrapping it up now. I've made a G. Stick with it if you enjoy these, and go back and watch the previous ones if you really enjoy them. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that like button. I hate saying all that, but I've kind of got to get it in there just to kind of see some growth from my channel. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I made a G, like I say. Thank you for the racing, everyone. Good racing again this week. Few little incidents here and there. Bad timing, more often than not, to blame for it than anything else, rather than really bad driving or anything. So yeah, anyway, without much further ado, thank you very much for watching again. See you again next week for Kyoto Driving Park. Take care. Oh, one more thing, check out Simfx on Facebook and check out Simfx Racing on Google. See you later. Bye.